Hello, amigo. Eagle Gardens. Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, TikTok, pretty much everything else. Cheers to you guys. Hopefully you guys are having a great day, or you had a great day. I've had a pretty good day myself. Ran a little bit late at the gym. I was hoping to get here a little bit sooner, but hopefully y'all forgive me. What do I know about rolling down in the deep? Quite a bit. I've been there once or twice. What's up, Cannon Trooper? I say, yeah, that's true. What you guys smoking on this fine evening? That's ready there. Fucking internet already fucking up. All right. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Martial Artist 2012 in the house. Get me up, rolling one up. Chiba Man. We got ready to smoke Chiba Man. What you guys smoking on? What up, blind cat? I've been going right around, go that relay. Pass the baton back, come on, swimming in a pool, can't you come on? When a piece of this, a piece of mama, a piece of sign, keep the please between the lines, my rhymes inclined to break your spine. They say that I'm so fine, you could never match my pride. Please do not with my dawn. What you know about rolling down in the deep when your brain goes numb? I do like the hook too, martial arts. Talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. What you know about rolling down in the deep? Getting this fucking joint all rolled up so I can smoke down with you. Need to get this chat fucking popped out, not a top chat. I thought I was all ready, but I wasn't. One giant leap for mankind. Oh, I'll let Slick Jacking play. You guys like some Slick Jacking? Cutlass Supreme. Psycho Well. You have a good night, Can Trooper. Get some rest. Hopefully we will see you soon. What up, blind cat? This guy's bald too. Now by you fuckers. Since it's for me. Since it's just me, I'll bump it a minute. Fucking good tune right here. I don't think I'll ever lose it. Got a whole block of shit blues with a district that tastes like almost like don't break them homes. You guys remember the old Cutlass Supreme? That used to be like the fucking ghetto cruiser right there, the Cutlass Supreme. Everybody wanted that 350 rocket on the fucking cruise. Fucker was fast. Good old Buick 350 rocket. Cutlass Supreme. Oh, wow, in the tank. Where'd my papers go? Oh, no. There they are. How many of you have even heard of Slick Jack? They're finally in live chat. I don't know why it just isn't live chat. On the other side and die. Crash on his watch, that post to break mine. Gun that's on the street.
I guess like all this dead air, huh? Smoking that ECSD. Thanks to nerd. To a nerd. Nighttime smoke love. Weed Nerd World. Yeah. Nice. Nice. I'm just kind of cleaning up the tray at the moment before I break some more shit out. I'm really surprised I went back to hand rolling joints. Weird, like just odd switch like that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start hand rolling joints again. We ain't gonna listen to no House of Pain. It's not a House of Pain kind of night. See what we get here. Come on. Justice Meds, Justin Bean. Fuck yeah. How you guys doing? What are you smoking on? What do you about blackberry smoke? This is a good one right here. Chilling. This one kind of fits the mood. Aces. My cat. Some good smoke right there. I think like almost that's like a staple weed nerd strain these days. Mrs. Justice Meds. Cheers to you. Got a little tongue tied on there. We all stick around. Swallow your pride. Sometimes we all do. The whole thing's down. Oh, how many times I've sang this one out at the top of my lungs. But then more horses came to town. Cherry pie times garlic cane. Probably fucked that all up. That sounds good. In the press. Zabber. Oh, wait. See my bird, my eagle up there watching over my babies. Always got to have something in there. And be a garden gnome. So, a little piece of me always do that. Dude, I like Steely Dan. Shit, I grew up on that shit. My mom was a Steely Dan freak when I was a kid. Dad was like Steely Dan as well. Yeah. So I guess long answer, yes. Man, the snow's melting. It's getting warmer and warmer. Man, I can't wait for summer. Just can't fucking wait for summer. So I do believe 100. I'm gonna get my ass to California again in May. Have some fun with some California weed nerds. Make some Emerald Cup. Maybe nose. Hang out with Bendo for a minute. And right for this town. Might as well follow it up with a Weed Nerd World appropriate song. What's up, son? I got my doobie. Fuck yeah, it's always man. That literally just gave me the chills. I used to, man, I fucking miss that. I used to fucking come running when their fucking notifications went off. Chores got put aside. Nothing mattered but the weed nerds. Let's all get down to the old school sound of the K-Loo pound. The dirt, southern hand and good and work. Weed nerds. What's up, Rim Purple? In the backyard with the mountain gorilla gang stiller. Another, what you think? Miss Jill's got tips on growing the day. Cheese plate, Aldo, Indo funky. Time red half laced in my blood, see? Skunky, smelly, stay strong, sticky. And I do so wish fucking Sub was a fucking live, be a part of all this shit. He'd be flinging beans like no tomorrow. I'm a weed nerd. Fucking tattoos right out my body. Across my nose, across my leg. Small town review. What is up? Hopefully you're doing well. I popped in your channel. I think it was yesterday. We talked about the ping pong table. Debating on whether or not you should take it to the new place. Cheers to you, my friend. Hopefully you're doing well. Justice Mick Flaviano. I'm not gonna embarrass myself anymore. That's the same question you asked yesterday. Close to, isn't it? Ask Brett when Joe Pietri did the work for him. Ask Joe, that would be cool. I don't talk to Joe that often. Once in a while. Every time I talk to him, he just wants to come back on. Make them texts lately. These plants are in beds. They have been topped a few times. Watered down today. They are probably about week 7 from seed. My babies. Chilumbium F2. That's a good joint for just some random shit on the tray. Big ups to you, big boy. Rock. Someday I hope I can go on a run with you, my friend. It'd be nice to even do it in Alaska. Holy shit, I'd love a fucking nice little run in Alaska. All that beautiful scenery, trees. I'm a weed nerd. Oh, look at the oil on that bitch. Fucking camera sucks. Weed nerd. This is right before I met fucking Mendo right here. We should all keep that saying alive. If anything, we should all be keeping the have a dank day thing alive. What else do we got here? It sounds fairly good. I'm gonna pump it up a little bit with the Static X. Push it. That would be. I'm telling you right now, big boy. That would be an honor. I'd love to do a few miles with the fellow Weed Nerd. I was talking to Blind Cat yesterday about running a race later in the year, and kind of was being nice and supportive. Well, if you don't, even if you don't want it, it's still good to at least accomplish the goal. I went, old school. Oh, I'm gonna win it. I am gonna win that motherfucker. Man, I had to take tonight off because last night I doubled up, man. I really pumped out some good miles. Then turned around, did a little bit of lady work. And I woke up today, man, my ass, my legs, calves. Good sore. You know what I mean? Sore, but good sore. What do you get smoking out tonight, Buddha? We're in purple. Justice Mick. Oh, that's some bullshit, Black Cat. BB Ultra's in the house. All right, what we got now? How about this? We'll fucking. This shit's funny right here.
Scientists put a mirror in the middle of the hoodest part of the jungle. Let's see how these animals react. What the hell this guy looking at? Okay, I got something for your ass. Snake attack! Oh shit! Squad, come here, take a trip. Kind of like, oh shit! Damn, that nigga was like, oh,
this is fucking hilarious. This came on last night when I was at the gym. I was all laughing. Everybody was looking at me. I was fucking laughing at them and shit. That probably one with the gun.
Well, fuck you too, then, you fat bitch. Girl, I need the same and I need the
I like the one. I thought you knew.
Damn, I'm dead. Twice that. Bro, swing on that nigga. No. You better swing. No. You. What the fuck was that, man? You acting like straight up bitch, cuz. That's him right there. He's like, push nigga right here. What you doing on phone? Girl, why you tell me I was this ugly?
I thought you knew. That fucking shit's fucking hilarious. Every time I watch it. Hilarious. All right, back to the music. Back to the music.
Welcome to Kentucky.
Right. Twerk daddy.
We love to get along. Kentucky loves each other. I love you, Kentucky.
Ow. Oh shit, we got fucking a friend Blind Cat popping in. Earpiece in. What up, Blind Cat? Here you are.
Hey, yo.
What up?
What's up, my brother?
How much you, my friend?
Not much, dude. Just ate some chicken fajitas.
Some chicken what?
Fajitas.
Oh, okay.
My grandpa always says that shit, like sacramento or fucking fajitas or whatever, some fucking goofy ass name.
Nice.
I'm a big goofball, if you haven't noticed.
That's fun. It's fun to be around people like yourself.
Same here, brother. That's why I show up all the time, as much as I do.
That's what I was saying last night about our. That's what I was getting ready to say about the old people. Not last night. Is like the older they get, the less they give a shit. You know what I mean? So they're like, they say some fun shit. You know
That's
what
why
I mean?
I was hoping you didn't. I was hoping you didn't like, you know, take any offense to my freaking random acts of blindness comment last night.
No, not at all. No, I thought that shit was funny.
I think that might be my new sign out or some shit. But I like to give, I still want to like give respect to the fucking, I don't want to like make a joke of it, because that is real serious, like doing nice things for people.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a serious thing right there.
Yeah.
That shit feeds the soul, man. That's and that's in the end, that's the only thing. You can't take none of that material shit with you. But you know what I mean? The things you fed your soul with, the good deeds you done, that helps you transcend. You know what I mean? That you can take with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was talking to a brother on the show that's been on the show here, and he was saying about some of his worries, and I said, bro, like sharing love, like just, sharing time, sharing love, whatever you can, like that's what it's about. Like that's what I think life is about in general, to show kindness to people. And if you can't give nothing, then fuck, that's all you really need. Open up a door for somebody, like you say, something kind.
Yeah, it most certainly never has to be monetary, man. I've some of the best things that make me feel good when I'm trying to my best to be on point. You know what I mean? Is like when I'm standing in line and knock it off, boys, and I can clearly see like the teller is having a shit day. People in front of me just fucking slamming shit on the conveyor. You know what I mean? That's another thing too. I hate it when I see people throw something up there like fucking 50 pounds, or just one time I just watched this guy literally wrestle to get this fucking like bookcase up there. And I'm like, why are you doing this? You can walk around with this scanner. Neither one of you want to handle that shit again. Jeez. But anyways, is getting up there and like getting that eye contact, and how you doing today?
Yeah.
Hopefully you're doing well. That shit goes a long fucking way. It really does. Just connecting.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, not enough people even freaking call each other on the phone anymore. Like, I'm not a huge texter or whatever. Like, I do write a little bit of a diatribe when I do text, but but I like to talk to people in person.
Me too. What's up, Buddha boy?
Yo,
What's up, brother?
It's been a minute.
how's the work at? First of all, hey, it's good to see you, Eagle. Very good to see you. Seems like it's been like a half a year or something like that, but half a year seems like a year, so 3 months seems like a year. It all sucks. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not down on anything. It's just I'm trying to put it into perspective. What I was gonna say is actually this. It's simply, I'm just gonna say it. You've had a lot of ups and downs in your recent past, and so have I. And I tell you something, so is everybody out there, and we're all in this together. So it's good to be around, fam.
Yes. Amen to that, for sure.
How about you, Blind Cat? How are you doing, buddy?
No, I'm doing all right, man. Just trying to take it easy,
This is a little bit of that strawberry anger stuff it was my first cross. It was really my favorite. It's one of my favorite cultivars. So I think from this point out, trying to suit your own taste is a pretty good place to start, right?
Definitely. I was happy to
I
see
love
that
it.
some of my seedlings popped above ground today. First sign.
Oh, awesome. That's
How
always
did
a
it?
relief, isn't it?
Oh
Yeah. What was your starting method there?
I did like a 40 some odd hour 2-day soak basically, and then just in regular tap water. And then got some styrofoam cups and, you know, slit the bottoms, label them all up, threw some seed starter mix in there, threw the seed in there after 2 days, and about 3-4 days later, everything popped up. So, or most things so far. That's it. Just keep them
I
moist.
ended up I ended up doing the same thing. I rolled out like basically 3 sets of seeds. If something didn't germinate, I would, replace that and maybe add a couple to it. But I ended up with I have in veg and in seedling, quite a few plants, and I don't have any in flower at the moment, but it's like this. It looks like it's going to be a fun experience. Part of the cultivars that I have are medicinal. Some of the CBD strains from both Dankovich and also from Hillbilly. I have a neighbor, I might have mentioned this in the past, Cheryl and Joe is who I'm referring to, my neighbors, and they're in their late 70s, early 80s, but he's having kidney problems, and they're having all these problems. She has ocular injections once a month and all that. So I'm dedicating a certain amount of the space to them, and I was able to give them, an ounce or 2 ounces of some CBD weed. They're non-smokers, they never experienced anything like it, and we're just trying to nail down something that actually is appealing and also therapeutic.
Absolutely.
What you know about cannabis and kidney health?
Excuse me?
I said, what you know about cannabis and kidney health?
Well, I didn't like Google it or research it that way, but he also had some heart and, maybe there's even some cancer in the mix there. He's a kind of a private person. So when they came to me last summer, when they first approached me, I had to nail down the genetics and stuff. I just, opened my immediately. I'll get a hold of somebody, I'll get these, and it took a lot longer to obtain the actual genetics. So what I'm thinking is that just the general stimulus of the endocannabinoid system as we know it, and the fact that, there's values in that is where we're starting. And then secondly, if we can address any type of noticeable, like you're a caregiver, you understand that everybody has a different need and a different sensitivity and a different lifestyle and things like that. So personally, I'm trying to keep an open mind as to what I don't know, because when I smoked it all, it's like, shit, man, none of that stuff gets you high, oh man, you know what I mean? Or, I couldn't see the psychotropic benefits of it. But what I intend on doing is for people who, like, these folks are actually open to the idea of, say, a ratio of CBD to THC. So I would like to take this little strawberry cultivar I was telling you about, strawberry headbanger, which is very strong. I'd like to kind of detune it, bring it down to the level with the CBD. So it'll have a little of maybe that strawberry, have a little bit of that nice upbeat THC sour D type of thing that the headbanger has, but also have a little bit of that. I want it to be something that's appealing to somebody. So if they want to feel a little bit in their head, a little bit of relief, that would be nice too. And then I'll make a version. I'm just following my heart. So that's, next thing, first I agreed to produce a cultivar for them, and now I'm thinking of actually designing a cultivar for them, because I'd like to take that strawberry headbanger and knock it to some Pakistani Citral Kush, and then hit the CBD with that, because I think that something about that Pakistani cultivar, my version of it anyway, which is a F2 originally from Ace Seeds, is a low it seems like it's a low THC, but it has some of the most awesome terps. So I think that mix of that little cocktail, I think it'll have an appeal to somebody, even maybe me, who knows, but that's the direction I'm going in. So what do you guys think of that?
I think that's really cool that you're making somebody for an elderly couple, and that's very kind of you, bro. That's really cool.
Me too.
They're good people, you know. They've been good to my family, and I honestly, humbly speaking, I'm guided by voices just like you guys, so I just trust my heart and that good things are going to come out of it, and try not to think about it too much because, you know, it does take time. So hopefully they're around for that long.
Absolutely.
Just I hate to say, you know, and then I get the experience too of actually, you know, trying to produce something that's tangible, because in my heart of hearts, you know, I sold a little weed, you know, on the street or, you know, out of my home and stuff like that I produced even at some point. Maybe I did or maybe I didn't. But I always thought of myself as a healer, not a dealer, so to speak. That's my little phrase. So, and I always thought that if I had my inclination, I would be like Eagle, you know, providing medicine for the community and just being able to make the two ends meet. I'd be happy with that still. So this is my way of just kind of like keeping my foot in the door.
Man, you know,
And
it's funny you bring up that difference in term there, because I'm not going to lie to anybody and say that at one point I haven't hustled weed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But when I made that conversion, and you know what I mean, and it wasn't just the license, you know what I mean, and fucking, it was actually digging deeper into cannabis and seeing the impact. But once that clicked and it became a more an advocate, you know, caregiver thing, and I could see what it could do, and my shit by that point, the fucking that story could go on. I was actually seeing, you know, how it could be applied to friends and shit like that. But it would, when people after that point would like insinuate dealer, you know what I mean? That was always like a fucking kick in the gut to me at that point, man. It was just like the dirtiest thing you could have called me and still call me at that point, man. I had no way see, you know, what I do and have done over the years to be a dealing thing, or you know what I mean? It's helping people. You know,
Yeah.
more definitely now these days, you know what I mean? My attitude's 100% changed, and who I deal with in cannabis has changed over the years. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure. I think that our attitude is definitely what distinguishes, you know, like in essence, your attitude is like branding for your body. You know, people get a real good idea about the contents by simply the way we conduct ourselves. I think of somebody like your friend and our friend Alex Hardy. You know, Alex Hardy is such a smarty that he brings his whole being to the picture, and because he has such a well-rounded and kind of Renaissance man and very intelligent and spiritual type of approach, I haven't run his gear. You may have, but it's like this. I trust the man and I respect him. You know, and we need more people of all the varying different shades, you know, because it's like this. I have no problem with the popular culture and all of that, and cannabis's place in it. But what I really prefer is the mystical realm, and you know, the more subtle. So to me, that's the stuff that they can't legislate. What goes on in your mind and your heart and your body. So that's what I kind of feel. It's like my body is like cannabis Switzerland. It's neutral, man. I'm down with it.
I have
That's what I like.
run Alex's gear there. He was the one that he was actually the one I think that was completely responsible for letting the gift basket thing not die for a long time. And he was actually, before his episode, he actually sent me a fucking basically a gift basket that landed. It's like oddly enough the day of his episode, but it was his board 13 and some hash and some other shit. But yeah, I definitely attribute the lingering gift basket thing to Alex there. And the board 13 was nice. He asked me to pass it to as many as I could. And I did as many. I passed it to as many as I could before I had to give it up. So
Yeah, man. Well, Alex is a gem of a person, and he kind of reminds me of some of those guys like back in the 90s, the really eccentric hippie types, with the 60s, 70s sensibilities, hyper intelligent, but wearing their Birkenstocks around all year. And, but I'd like, honestly, because I hear of his systemic approach, within his greenhouse and within his the terroir of where he lives, the environment, having 4 seasons, because I hear him talking about how his plants are always acclimated to the cold. And to me, as a northern cannabis person, one of the things that I look at is, if a plant can, has the rigor and the vigor to persevere up here, because it is actually, it's more than just hardening a plant. It's how comfortable it is in the boreal regions, A, with all the light, and then B, as it tapers down to some pretty cool temperatures, both outside and in the grow room.
Yeah, getting acclimatized. What I also like was the when you said you like the spiritual aspect and whatnot. That's what I liked about what the massage school I went to. They taught a lot of traditional Chinese medicine and amongst other things, Ayurvedic medicine and whatnot. But you said, what do you know about Eagle? You said, what do you know about kidney health and cannabis? And from what they were teaching there was that like the organ, like the body part for the kidneys is actually your ears. And so the correlation with that and like how people used to smoke cannabis and listen to jazz music and really to amplify the
and poetry. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, the quality of the sound and like to amplify that. But anyway, the point is, and like people with kidney issues will have ringing in their ears. But the deep colors of like black and blue and like really deep purple, those types of colors will help build the kidneys. So black beans, kidney beans, eggplants, all that kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm going to have to research this, like any medical professional would, or, anybody who's concerned about the health of themselves or their loved ones or whatnot, because it's like this. Maybe I can get some anecdotal, like you say, from that Eastern medicine or Indian, trying to figure out what's going on with him, because obviously they just put a catheter into his arm, a stent, and he's going to be going to that dialysis regularly. And, you can't go back in time, but we want to learn to stimulate regeneration and health, because if somebody can get back a year or 5, that's enough, man. I mean, I'm not saying it's enough, but it's like it's better than not doing anything at all. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I took your...
It's all right. And it's also just that like, our conventional Western medicine is only about 200 years old. Whereas the traditional Chinese medicine is like between 5,000+ years old. They say between 5 and 10,000. So it's like it's much older.
And involving cannabis, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's where I believe the
I'm sorry.
Chinese plateau. You're good, brother. You're good. I really appreciate your input on fucking.
I'm not getting a visual cue off of my phone. My phone only has one face at a time or something. So when I'm talking to you, sometimes I don't quite see the visual cue.
Welcome to my world, brother.
Gotcha.
Squirrel.
Hey, Eagle, just not to, we're enjoying some silence and peace, but you've been working out for about 5 months, 6 months now, something like that?
Coming up probably close on a year.
Well, there you go. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh, no worries.
It's a good place to start, isn't it? When you're like kind of let's just say gonna say cleaning house or whatnot, when we're putting our life together. But I'll just say, our body is a temple of God, and is like this. We need to make it strong, and it really does clean out some of that lint. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just actually coming back to a workout routine within the last month, which is, and I have a little path. It's like a little section line that goes over towards through the woods and up some hills and kind of over the river through the woods type of thing. And it's in snow, so it has a little bit more. It's a little more resistance there. So I feel like I'm on a good path. And this time of the year to be able to, like, when we're talking about doing a run, sometime Eagle, I'd like to see you. I don't know how you feel about this, but do maybe a 5-kilometer race, which is a 3-mile race, and then do a 10-kilometer race, and then do a half marathon. Take it from there. You don't have to commit to going to a marathon, but it's like this. I can see this for you when you kept mentioning it. I'm like, man, that guy's primed for a goal, and is like this. You'd be popping off that 5K in a couple of months. So I'm just saying, and you'll learn a lesson each time. Even that 5K might hurt more than the half marathon.
Oh, I could run a 5K right now. I could run. Honestly, I'm ready for a 5K. I could run it.
I'd really
No
encourage you
problem.
on that. Seriously, it's good fun, healthy goal making, and healthy for your body.
Yeah,
You meet a new community of people. I was just going to say, last thing is simply, you meet a new community of people too. That active group of people, who we may not see in the smoker circle. There's some pretty good people out there too, and a lot of them aren't as straight as you think.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that's kind of the thing. I want to do. I want to do this for myself, but I want to do this for the smokers too. I want to prove that us fucking cannabis users can fucking chief down and then still be able to fucking get out there and fucking do our thing. You know what I mean? That it isn't, it's always been associated with, hindering you or slowing you down and shit like that. I've talked to a lot of athletes, yourself included, that said that, it was kind of an aid, you know what I mean, in your left athleticism. There we go, a little tongue tied there. But yeah, we need to like let that be known that it isn't, you know what I mean? People can get shit done with cannabis. I want to fucking smoke right up until that gun fires, to be honest with you.
Yes, it's fun, man. Listen,
just fling it.
I used to, when I was doing some trail running in my early 40s, I got some kids who were just graduated from high school, a couple of them, and then a guy who was in his late 20s, and we called ourselves the free runners. And we'd get in my Saab and we'd boogie down the road as fast as we could, smoking as much pot as we could before we went to the trail running race. And my friend Jesse, he was very competitive. He actually did well, and I ended up getting like a fourth in a ultra marathon and things like that. So it can lead to good places. But the main thing is we were always kind of true to our school. And the funny thing is that nobody ever really gave us a hard time, because we were kind of like the Cheech and Chong or the Spicolis. We'd get out of the car and we'd be ready to run. Anyway, point being, when I'm in that playful mood and in my body and healthy and all of that, I'm a lot less defensive in life, and I'm a lot more prepared to meet the challenges that life presents itself with. And that goes for anybody in any type of goal or physical goal. If you just, take the bull by the horns, take your knocks, you're going to take a few knocks no matter what. Like today, I was running down the hill, and it's a pretty steep hill, and there's an outside line that had snow, and there was an inside line that said ice, and I decided to go down the icy path. And I tell you what, I slid about 12 feet on my ass, and on my I had a little like hydration bag on the back, so I was like, and they're really slick, so it took me, and then I had to go back and get my hat. So in other words, I don't break, I just bend, but I wish I just bounced a little harder. No, it was really funny. I feel like I'm rapping too much. I'm gonna smoke a little bit here, guys.
Well, the good thing also about, cannabis and athleticism and whatnot, like say football players or boxers or whatever, that cannabis strengthens that mylar sheath, that neuro, the protection of the nerve, that wrapper of the nerve. And so it's
myelin sheath, myelin.
Yeah, it's all where you put the emphasis
Mylar
on
is
the
something
syllable.
You're good.
Right.
Yeah, I like the word ergogenic. I think that cannabis has an ergogenic effect that is like a little bit performance enhancing, not only towards athletics, but towards music, dance, chilling, having conversations, watching the tube, all that stuff. Sex. We know that.
Funny, as John in chat says, running on concrete's a lot different than running on the treadmill. I've been running my miles upgrade up a 3 grade to kind of help me in my head get ready for that switch, that little bit of extra there. And but as he says that, it was funny he brought that up because today I was like literally like using Google Maps to like go, okay, from here to there, you know what I mean, local marks. If I run up to that restaurant up there and back, what is that? So I was already looking up today, kind of back and forth routes to that it would add up to what I'm currently kind of running. So yeah, I'm ready to make that switch because I know there's a difference there. And I was talking truth one day about running because I was thinking about running. There's been 2 races lately. There's a 3K run a few weeks ago, like early February, mid-February, during Tip Up Town days here in Michigan. But it was what, a 5K, so it was 3 miles, and I was just barely hitting 3 miles at that point, and I didn't want to fucking. It was in front of it was let's see here. There was like basically you were running in front of the parade. So it was like they were racing, and then there's a parade behind you. And I was like, oh, I'll be damned if I want to cramp up and they have a fucking parade sit on the side of the road while a parade passes me, or, the police brigade's chasing us up the road. No, and plus I wasn't like ready for that cold air. And that was what the advice was like, yeah, sucking in that like cold air is going to be a lot different experience than being in that gym. And I'm like, good point. Then the extra clothes on top of that, but now it's getting warmer and less excuses to get out there and make that switch and shit.
Well, like any other goal, it's one that's I think is probably going to be mysterious and rewarding, and it'll be like one of those things where even your family will probably get involved. Like by the time I thought it was a solitary activity, but by the time I was running ultra marathons, my wife was there, my kids were there handing me water bottles, and then when you accomplish something, even simply like finishing and being a part of it, you're kind of a hero. So I'm just saying that I'm not as competitive and driven as say I was in my 20s or whenever, but it was even earlier. But it was like I just like to do it because I can, kind of like pot. Is like I grow the weed because I can, and I read the book so that I can. It's no big deal. But I'd like to see let's wrap this around to the weed nerd world and the weed nerd community. I'd like to see some people from like Green 13 and Meow Flower and some of the old crew, Johnny and some of the crew come up here sometime and have a little bit of a reunion, just because it's like this, the times that we come together are less and less, I guess, over the last season or two. And I think this is something of value. And I know that you're under the marching towards the 200, the 800, with 200 shows essentially between 200 plus shows between here and then. And it's like this, if indeed this was a finite project, which I have a feeling it's going to go on beyond that. But we should savor it and participate and honor it, because it's like this. The best days are not behind us, but in theory, they're in front of us. So that's my thought.
Appreciate you saying that. I feel the very same way, 100%. The only thing I want to expand on there is in that vision of me running there. The family and friends that I envision being there are fucking weed nerds. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Michigan. Well, it's a Michigan event that, you know, August 20th. That's the deadline. That's the Bobby Crim Road Race, Flint, Michigan. There's a 5 and 10K, I believe. It's your choice to run.
Okay.
And I have kind of, it's made an effort to run this race a couple times in my life, and shit has came up. But this year, I'm like, no excuses. I'm fucking doing this. And so it being like kind of close to being a hometown, and it being Michigan and tons of weed nerds around the state here, fuck yeah, I would love to see, you know, I actually, if there's a way I can like fucking put Weed Nerd on my back or shorts or fucking whatever, I'm fucking doing it, and they can fucking read my ass and elbows if there's a weed nerd in front of them.
You know what? You could have the kit to be beaten. So in other words, you know, depending on the weather, you know how running is, there's all kinds of gear. So you have water bottles, you have arm warmers, you have shorts, you have singlets. A singlet is just simply a tank top, you know. But the thing is that you know, something like, you know, I'm not saying this, but Team Weed Nerd, or you know what I mean, or you know, this is all fun. I've actually entertained these ideas myself, because honestly, a lot of the people who do a certain type of activities can be a little bit, you know, they take things so serious, you know, and usually it's not the guys who are in the very front of the race, because those guys, they like to have fun too. But it's, you know what I mean? This is a celebration of mobility and community and health. And like kind of like we've seen the brothers and sisters out there doing the push-up challenge. Maybe we're just going to do the 5K challenge, and then the 10K challenge, and then the, you know, I do think that a half marathon, even for me right now, being where my fitness is, it would be quite a training regime, you know, by the end of the summer, for me to be fit enough that I don't want to hurt myself, because I tend to want to overdo it a little bit.
What's a marathon? When we talk marathon, what are we talking?
26 miles, 26.2 miles. So your half marathon would be 13.1 miles. And, you know, the fact is that, you know, they're all doable. But I think that if you have a righteous, you know, goal, and your body holds up, has a certain amount of strength and resiliency, there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't even work towards, you know, the biggest of the goals, which would be a marathon. I mean, it's like this, you know, it might take you a year or two, but you know, you get it done before you're 55. That's for damn sure.
Get all Ricky Bobby about that shit and shit. My level of attitude, want to, and the fine healing power of cannabis, I can do anything, Buddha.
Yeah.
You're not first, you're
The
last.
healing power of cannabis. I'll tell you, my friend Jesse, when we did our ultra marathon, which was a 40 miler, he fucking went in the bushes and smoked weed. He had a little joint there and a little bag and a lighter, and he's like, he just goes like he's gonna go pee, has a little puff, has another puff, and then hits the trail and runs another fucking 10 miles or whatever.
Shit, these days we got pens, man. We ain't even gotta stop.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I hadn't even thought of that. Honestly, I'm such a cabin boy, you know.
No cameras, nobody looking, puff, hitting the turbo speed.
It's a lot of fun. I don't know. We were all talking about over the last few episodes. Sometimes people will mention bicycles and things like that from our youth. You know, the Haros, the Kuwaharas, the mongooses, the, you know, all the Diamondbacks, whatever, the great bikes at Redline, things of the past. But I think I just wanted to talk about bikes. Got a little high, but anyway.
Right on.
I'm surprised any of us had fucking kids after the BMX days, man. Whew.
Yeah. Hey, Blind Cat, your garden, the last time I saw it, you may have shown it sometime in the near past. It really looks nice, and you have some quality cultivars. Am I not kidding? You kind of are becoming a bit of a librarian with some of the nice cuts, are you?
Well, I'm not really keeping any cuts. I'm kind of just moving on to the next set of seeds, but I was trying to
That
keep
makes sense.
I was trying to keep a couple just to have them, and but I try to push the limits a little bit, and I tried to keep a carcass instead of just taking a monster cut, a monster clone, and I should have. Now I think my future, I'm getting about 33%, success rate on that. So I'd rather switch up and just take the monster clone. But yeah, currently I got like 6 different varieties. I've planted 5 of each, so you know what I mean. It's nice little.
I think
nice
the
hunt.
morphology of this monster cropping ends up with a much nicer bush, actually, in a lot of circumstances. So I think that you sticking with that is a good idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like on deck right now, just to smoke on, I have about 5 or 6 different varieties. So that's what I like to do, is keep a nice little variety.
You kind of rotate them through a little bit.
Yeah, just while I'm smoking on them. One day I'll smoke Bike Seat, next I'll smoke Amy's Aces, like tonight. And I'll just kind of, and that doesn't, throughout the day, I'll switch it up.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm the same way. My idea of growing was not monocropping, it was for variety, because I had no access to try all of those cultivars that I'd read about in High Times magazine and whatnot. So, I'd take the free seeds I got in my order and, whatever packs I got, and, kind of mix them up. And it really was nice though to have that variety. So like when, say, there was a TH Seeds promotion example, like they give you like a Cushage, they give you a Sage, they give you a Dark Star, they give you a whatever number of say 5 different ones. They only give you a couple seeds, but man, you got those to pop, and you got to try all 5 of them, and man, that was a good round. I'm just saying, for me, or nothing too fancy in my arsenal, but I've definitely enjoyed rolling out, like, say if I had 20 seedlings that I put out, I usually would have like 8 or more cultivars there, because if they're male and female, I roll out double,
Right, definitely. Me too. That's my exact thought. I like your
or
your
even
posts,
numbers or whatever.
all your posts, bro.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're good. I'm really impressed by some of the cultivars you're rocking too. Like, I've always appreciated what you're running from what you posted and shit. I've really liked it.
I'm super loyal. When if Karma Genetics did me good in 2012 and they did me good in 2013 and 2015, well, I've done almost 20 of his strains now, and if I pop him an email, he knows who I am anyway.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
So it's like, I love people who I could at least relate to enough to say hi.
Yeah, he's a straight up weed nerd right there.
That's right. And I have a lot to learn from those guys. Every time it seems like I get hold of a morsel of information, from the people who I really personally respect, I feel deeply indebted and humbled, because they do have a lot more experience than I'll ever have at these type of things.
Mm-hmm. Right on. It's righteous, bro.
And that goes for any number of that. And also here's the upside of it, or the downside of it, is there's many people in this community who are experimenting, newbies, sometimes long time growers and breeders, but it's like this, there's very good quality. And the nice thing about that is there's a lot of generosity in this community as well. So nobody's for lacking of good seeds or somebody to help them out. I'm just saying, I probably have grown, let's just say, a dozen cultivars of people from this community that were quite respectable. The cultivars, the people. Who knows?
I agree.
No, Dow included, you know.
Yeah, I've actually, both me and Blinded by the Light, we both ran nearly his whole lineup. I actually just popped the last 2 out of his full lineup. I've already popped most of the others, so, or all the others. And then same thing with Blinded by the Light. He's still got freaking his whole lineup. Some good shit. I especially like that Blood Rat Cross.
That's awesome.
It's a good one.
Yeah, people have a lot of heart and a certain amount of intelligence and perseverance, and you know, I love it how the mystery is such that the beginner can end up with a gem just as a pro or a master can, you know, because the goddess doesn't you know, withhold from anybody really. Her medicine is equally accessible, her values and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got your room set up with lighting and stuff that's optimized for your room, because I remember you were borrowing or getting some other equipment earlier last year or something like that.
Yeah, Bingus was so I had actually already, I was slowly purchasing my equipment. So I was running HPS previously, 1,000 watts. And then I wanted to make the switch to LED. So I had bought and purchased 2, it was actually recommended by Ned Denver, but 2 HLG, they were like the ones that covered basically a 2.5 foot spread. So I got 2 of them, and to cover a 5x5. And so I'd already purchased those. And I also had another UFO that covered about a 3x3, but I wanted to get a single light instead of having multiples, and just make those old ones my veg lights. So went and picked up 2 HLG 550s from Bingus, along with and he gifted those to me, as well as 12-ton rosin press.
Wow.
So, yeah,
That's super generous of him.
Absolutely,
that's very nice
dude. I
to
was
hear.
very thankful. And he was like, bro, it's just because, you know, I mean, you're a weed nerd. You came all the way out here. I drove like 5.5 hours away to go meet up with him. And he's like, here, dude. And I was like, well, here's an ounce of mushrooms.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Fair exchange, barter, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Equal exchange or whatever. I think that's great. And here's the deal. If we can communicate in that realm of goodness and positivity and, you know, kind of paying it forward type of mentality, then I think we're kind of like, you know, winning the game. It's like, that's your anti-dickhead policy, is simply be nice.
Yeah.
Eventually they'll get tired of being a dickhead. I'm not saying this to any of you dickheads, but it's like this, you know, it takes a lot of energy. It's like this. I'd much rather hug somebody than to just say fug.
Yeah. And there's always misunderstandings and whatnot. And some people get sensitive. You know what I mean? Like, it happens to me too. I feel that too. Like, I get, you know, shit happens. But like, we all, just like you said, it's better to just let stuff go. Fucking look at what we have in common. Spread love, spread giving, and, you know, all that good shit.
Man,
yeah, personally,
many times, man. Fucking holding on to bad fucking juju, grudge shit, man, was fucking the hardest lesson and the worst fucking trait I've ever had in my life. And, you know, passing through that, learning to let go of that shit wasn't easy, but it was the best thing I ever did, was learn to give up that shit, that drop that, fucking learn to forgive and move on.
Yeah, I took a little bit of a reprieve from the internet as well, about 5-6 months, just like yourself, brother. But and that was because of that reason, is because I was getting a little bit irritable and snappy with folks on social media, and I was feeling
why
like I
would
needed
you do
to
that? Those people
Yeah,
are so genuinely pure and kind and just lovely.
Yeah, right. So I had to check myself, because I'm always doing that. I'm always trying to like check back in with myself, make sure I'm not being a freaking asshole or some shit or whatever, and just improving on my own bullshit. and focusing on myself and not looking outwards, because that's where I have the real effect, is in my own self, not others.
That's what I
Yeah,
like about
man.
the gym, because it is that focus on myself. I'm not looking at my phone. I don't give a shit about that anything else. You know what I mean? It's about basically what's in my ear and what's next. That's it. You know.
Yeah, yeah, because it's not important,
Yeah.
especially. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, you know, I just say I'll probably get over it in this lifetime. So in other words, I don't ever really get over anything, first of all. But there's a nice thing is that I replace those memories of bitterness, pain, and regret with more positive memories. And I embrace them in my, you know, persona, because really those are the ones that actually work the
But
best for me, and at the same time work the
it's
best for.
perfectly okay to forgive and make note.
Yeah.
You don't want to get fucked again, man. There's gotta be, you gotta learn something from the process. Yeah, you got me. Never again.
A part of
Absolutely.
me personally has a little bit of the street in them. You know, I kind of worked at that level for, you know, a period of time. And what I mean is the common sense of not letting somebody get one over on you and things like that, which if you were a cab driver at night in a frontier town that has no daylight, you might actually come up with strategies to, you know, you've got to be kind of like neutral to everybody. That's just the best way to be, is neutral. But the ego, so we're like talking about ego a lot of the time, isn't, it's a kind of like a slippery fish. It wants to go do its own thing and be free and, you know, kind of make trouble for you. So like when I was running today, I was thinking a lot about the physical sensations going through my body, and I do this a lot, kind of like self-talk on form, the ergonomics of what you're doing, or, you know, the movement efficiency of movement and things like that, because I was going through snow and I found that I would move faster and, you know, not bog down so much if I was running in a certain manner. And if I'm on a mountain bike or driving my car in challenging conditions, I kind of do the same thing. I get this little interior monologue going on. And what I said to myself, though I realized it, is, dude, you've got to take the needle off the record, even when you're out here doing your run, because it's like this. You don't need coach all the time. What you need is simply to just relax and actually let the steps take themselves, let the stride evolve. And if you fall, which I did at the beginning of the thing when I kind of chose the wrong path, then you fall. You just get back up. I'm just saying that it's all part of the thing, and it's very personal. So I guess that chit chat is almost like if you have a kid and you're always kind of riding their ass. Don't always ride your ass, you know what I mean? You got to kind of like chill a little bit, at least for me, because, and then if I'm doing that too much, that maybe it's negative self-talk, and we're not talking about on the athletics, but I might carry those attitudes into the community because I have them with me right in my own home and in my own heart right now. So it's like this, I can pretend, or I can, basically I am the problem. You know what I mean?
Well,
What's your
that's
problem?
you just hit the two words that I like to use on the headphone on the treadmill when I'm in that zone and shit. When I've been beyond the listening of the footsteps. You know what I mean? You've sunk into that like shallow breathing, and now it's just like an idle. And that's when I like to get my I ams in. You know what I mean? It's right there when I'm like just the machine's on auto. And you know what I mean? And I'm looking to what's kind of coming next. You know what I mean? A lot of times I am kind of envisioning like that mountain run or something like that. But that's definitely the time that I think to start that program.
So the I ams, you're saying those are like positive affirmations?
Yeah. 100%.
Cool.
I like that, Eagle. I think that just between what you said and what I kind of observe, from time to time, and it's not a new, but it's a evolving awareness about the meditative qualities of physical activity. Being in this body, we're not going to just limit it to our workout time or whatnot. But even if you're like holding a pen and writing a letter to somebody in the old-fashioned way, like with your pen and your little piece of paper, there's some sanctity in that. A lot of people have done that action in the past. There's cool things anyway. Yeah. I guess that this COVID times has been a little bit like, I had COVID at Thanksgiving and I had it at the New Year of this year. I came back from Puerto Rico. I went to Puerto Rico, and tell you something, it did kick my ass, but I'll tell you something, all this surreal, paranoid talk about the government and about conspiracies and shit like that kind of got me down. And I'm not talking about that specifically, but the tone of like I had an alarm set on my I have a little an old Bose thing with a clock radio, and the flower room, the lights go out at 8 a.m. So I had it come on, and the radio would come on with that. And it wasn't just public radio, but it was more, hardcore public radio, because I'm down with public radio. It's the station I have it tuned into. But every single day and every single news cycle, which is daily, they have all of this very negative stuff. And I'm talking about shootings, I'm talking about wars, I'm talking about very, very gruesome things, you know what I mean, in their news hour. And finally, I just fucking took that clock radio off, you know what I mean? Because I stopped listening to the news for about, it was pre-COVID. So I was lucky, I guess, but it was like, I know I must be ranting, guys. All I'm saying is I was getting depressed by the news. I was getting depressed by social media sometimes. I like to have organic contact with things, not synthetic. So it's like this, there's a lot of gap between the reality and what the need was. And also, here's the deal, I'm a very private person. You guys probably know that. I mean, I come into the chat, but I had my feelings hurt for about 5 months. I don't know why. I don't really care. It was like this. It made me a better person. I got my garden in again, and I got some new lights over the winter and some things like that. So I feel good. But it's like this. I do feel a little bit like I'm not lost, but it's time to put, rather than what's saving my life right now isn't the life preserver. It's actually, with no direction and no rudder and no paddle, I've actually got a raft, and it's time to start navigating and moving towards the goal. The time of being the scared deer in the headlights. Life's freaky. We can go through that. But in general, we all have a purpose, and life goes on. That's all. Smoke weed.
I mean, cut you off, Buddha, but that's something I think a lot. Maybe you can find some comfort in this. Is the more people I talk to, I'm finding that to be true. And I don't. Now that you talk about the pandemic, I almost don't wonder if that wasn't a lot to do with it. But I see a lot of people, and I can throw myself in there, the last year or so, it's we're ready for something, but it seems like just a lack of direction. You know what I mean? You don't know where you want to fucking run, which direction to run, because that whole fucking pandemic thing kind of made things weird, uncertain. You know what I mean? You couldn't, it kind of reassured you, which we should all be living that way anyway, that tomorrow isn't guaranteed. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it's harder with that kind of playing in the back of your head. It's harder to make that long-term goal. You know what I mean?
Peace of mind, you
Yeah.
know, and when we talk about the key word, there's peace. People couldn't have peace when they didn't know what the fuck's going on and they're waiting for the TV to tell them what to do. I'm just saying that. I'm just like everybody else. I tune into the media and I get my news from, you know, some source. But it's like this. I just want to say something. I love you as a person. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'd like to think that if we were in the same town and in the same state, we'd probably hang every now and then and probably hide the fuck from people. You know, smoke some good weed and watch a film and, you know, chop some wood and work on a project, you know, that type of shit. You know,
Yeah,
that's
something
what I'm used
productive.
to.
Yeah,
I'd
Hell
be
yeah.
down. I'd
something
be
real.
down.
Doing that kind
Yeah,
of work is
man.
like something nice and getting in tune with your body and focusing on something outside of yourself. That's why gardening is so excellent.
I
You're a
love
pretty cool dude, Wine Cat. I'll tell you that much because I know I respect your intelligence and also your awareness of the healing arts. And you're just genuinely cool nature. You're kind of a laid back guy. I don't think I've heard you get even slightly upset more than like maybe once. And I don't guarantee I heard you say it then. So I'm just
I've
saying
gotten just
you're
a
a pretty
couple of
nice guy
times.
to have around.
But I've even thought of apologizing to those folks. But anyway, it's not important. It's
No, that's
definitely.
not important.
But you know, I understand exactly what you're saying, and I like to just be aware of my own interaction because I love everybody. Like, you know, I do get a little bit grouchy from time to time when, you know, anyway, people try to educate me about myself or some weird shit. You know what I mean? But
Oh
I love
yeah.
that. But I love everybody, and I try to support folks in the community, whether it's just to give them a shout out or, you know, purchasing something that they provide or offering to the community. You know.
it's a good attitude,
You
my
bring
friend.
something to the table. You bring a lot to the table. And here's another thing I notice about you is there's a lot more that you have going on up there. So I wouldn't be surprised if you educated me just a tad bit every now and then because it's like this. You do make some fairly intelligent comments. I just say that because we can't take these things for granted, you know.
I was surprised to hear. I mean, Alex was saying he's like, "Oh, fucking, you taught me something," and I didn't really like actually teach him something because I forgot. I wasn't quite as eloquent as what I would have liked to have been, but I did find some information and sent it out to the people that were on the panel about that whole, you know, phytonutrients and phytochemicals and what they were and, you know what I mean, shit like that. But so anybody that is interested in that and they couldn't find it themselves, but I think even just a tertiary YouTube search will turn that shit up for people if they're interested.
Well,
I know the word phytonutrient. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you know, as far as that goes, you know, we should be planting seeds here. None of us are 100% experts on anything.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So the conversations that we're having here, right or wrong, if it interests you, you should be sparking something to look deeper into. You know what I mean? All this
That
shouldn't
was
be
my point.
taken for 100% fact, but yeah, you know what I mean? If they're
Yes.
listening to this and they, you know, wow, that's pretty neat. Their next step shouldn't be following that to be 100%. They should be looking deeper into the subject, more research, more conversation. You know what I mean? And by that, yes, 100%, you did teach a lot of us something that night. You know what I mean? I'm kind of that way 100% all the time. I might fucking stumble through what I'm trying to put out there, but you know what I mean? Hopefully along the stumble, I've at least, you know, ignited an idea or want to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
one
I've
or the other. I don't care.
Yeah. And I haven't been in
Someday,
school for
guys.
like a decade, so it's been a while since school.
Shit, it's been a long talk about a long time since school. We put apples for oranges here, dude. It's been a long
Sometimes,
time since
guys,
I've been in the classroom.
I'd like to study permaculture. That's what
Yeah.
Buddha Boy would like to, like, you guys say, I want to be an outdoor farmer. Well, I'd like to study permaculture and even entertain the ideas of even having like fish in the little system that I have in my own little area. And also hugel culture, like, the hugel beds with the wood and the wood decays and all the beds are on top of them. That seems
Yep.
like a perfect idea for where I live, because there's so many, as the canopy goes up, a certain amount of it falls down. So there's a lot of underbrush and under woods here. So if you wanted to build like beds, I think with that type of wood, I think it would go very well. And the region that I live in is called the Boreal Belt. It goes around the world, like Siberia, Finland, Scandinavia, Labrador, all those places, Greenland. And a lot of this area has the same timber. So we have like spruce trees and all of that, and birch trees and that chaga stuff that people talk about. So I'm just saying that it seems like it would go very natural with that. But I'm not sure I'll do that. I feel like I need a little more space. I only got a couple acres here, 2.5 acres. And, we do what we can with it and we keep developing it. But, well, I could do hugel beds, but I couldn't like put in a pond on it.
Like, I'm on like a half an acre or some shit or whatever, and I got one in my backyard. It's just a little experiment, little hugel bed.
So yeah, how's that working?
I encourage you. It's just started off. And then I had a couple extra down branches, so I kind of threw those over on top of it. But I had it's a 2x4 pallets all screwed together in an 8-foot by 4-foot little area. And so I put all the logs at the bottom, then sticks, twigs, leaves, and then unfinished compost, and then finished compost and leaf litter for my chickens. And then like I said, I had a couple of down branches, so I just threw those on top. So I gotta run through that, break it all down, and then make another one with the top. And then I have about 6 to 8 inches left to throw some regular soil on so that I can start growing in it this year. But I basically stuffed paper bags all on the sides to kind of retain more water. And that was fucking fun too, dude. Like, I just like trying all this different shit just to see what kind of luck I get.
I went to the library at some point, let's just say like 2008 or 2009 or 2010, to the university library, and I was looking up that book on permaculture, and I brought it up there. It was by the Australian guy who talks about it. I think he founded it. And the librarian, she hands me like an index card, and she writes on it, "Have you ever heard of hugel culture?" And she just gave me a rap as to kind of what it was about, and gave me a little, her writing was perfect, and how to find this information. And I kind of just thought that lady was pretty cool, so I always felt like maybe it's significant.
Do you follow Jeff Lawton?
No.
Okay, I would encourage anybody that's interested in permaculture. That's one great GEOFF Lawton, LAWTON, I guess. But permaculture is all about the retention, slowing, sinking, spreading, and retaining of water. So if you can like put like a thick amount of wood chips, that can really assist with that, as well as not compacting your soil, covering your soil so you're retaining all your microbes. There's like 7 different fucking benefits to doing like wood chips. And so I always tell people, like, fuck what some people in the gardening community say, like, wood chips are the fucking shit, as long as you don't mix it up with the soil and then that's going to start to want to compost. So it's going to pull nitrogen if you mix it up in your soil. But if you leave it on top, it'll just decompose naturally.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just love systems, like any system, like that, even if it's an equation, and I'm not much of a mathematician, but all I'm saying is when things work in harmony and, it just makes more sense. And it seems like a model from nature when you can, kind of look at, how we can create that nitrogen, have it kind of slowly go down into the, the plant. I just like it. It makes sense to me, and it's kind of, there's an elegance to it, and it's also like kind of down to earth too. It's gritty.
Well, desertification, or the loss of carbon in general, is going to be like one of the biggest problem. Like they talk about carbon footprints and whatnot. So putting that carbon, aka wood chips or anything, all that kind of shit, back and cycling that back into the earth is supremely important for our survival as a fucking species.
Makes sense to me. Hey,
Cheers, Major.
Major.
What's up, boys?
Killing Otto.
My southern brother.
Kill it.
We're all your southern
Fire!
brothers, right?
Fire in the hole. It must be the 20 somewhere on the moon.
Almost, man. Oh, damn.
It's a coming.
Must know that. Oh, dry sift, man.
What's the size of your head? Remo.
Remo.
Bud's the size of your head.
Oh yeah.
Or for you, Major, the size of
huge joints. Huge joints.
I haven't watched Remo in a while. Maybe that's what's the matter with me. That guy just cracked me up.
Those are breakfast joints there, Major.
Yeah, I think he sort of stopped showing his garden anyways. He sort of went, I think he's trying to go like get his LP license or craft license, something. So he's sort of not showing his garden anymore. And I don't know,
Really?
trying to be good with government, I believe. I think he still has his like weed wars shit going on. He just still does an odd review of. It seems like some kind of weird paid advertisement though. Every time you watch it, some kind of fucking corporate weed dude, some corporate weed dude shows up like, oh yeah, look at this. This is from blah blah blah. Oh, let's check it out. Oh, this is the fire. And they smoke it, and usually just lately it's been like a 9 and above everything. Every time you watch, you're like, oh, that's a 9.1. Oh, that's a 9.25. It's like, for I guess corporate weed might be that good, but
is Youngblood still involved?
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, Youngblood.
I like to see Junior Woodchuck come up, and here's the deal. I'm gonna say this, guys. If I grew gardens like fucking Remo, I'd have myself a fucking Mercedes G-Wagon limo.
Huge plants. That's what I appreciated about him. Fucking ginormous. 6 foot tall plants and shit. Indoors.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Huge fuckers, man.
And if I was going synthetic newts, I wouldn't have a problem using his newts. Aren't they same as everybody else's? Yeah,
same formula, same shit. I think he actually goes with more of a natural element there, though. He tries to be like, on the natural side of things, or at least tries to, have that perception of I'm a basic voice. Pick this up.
Like what
He's a good-hearted man. That's the main thing. Good person to have in the weed community, just like we were all talking about, just like you, Major.
I don't know if I'm good for it. That's why
just trying to get a rise out of you, buddy.
Soon enough, man. Once I hit the auto scene, man, I'm just gonna blow it up.
You'll be riding in a stretch limo too.
Yeah, just gonna blow that shit up. Fuck those $10 seeds. Auto's gonna be cheap. Damn cheap. No, I think all seeds should be less than $1 anyways, man. You give me $1 a seed, man, I'd be a rich fucker too. Only there was some kind of government program. Maybe in the future they'll pay you $1 a seed.
I think $1 a seed is fair, honestly. Somebody could still make a living with that. You'd have to have seeds that somebody wanted to spend the dollar on over some other set of seeds. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, a lot of people do make money with $1 seeds. They sell them by the kilo, right? You know, bags of seed, you know?
Even if it was for like a food purpose, you couldn't really afford $1 a seed. But maybe if you concentrate on seed production, it wouldn't be that hard. Like,
well, that's missing in the community, right? Is like if anybody wanted to press a bunch of, you know, cannabis seed oil and use it for food, I think that would be a decent way that's not really filled in the community right now. I know that there's hemp seed sold at Costco and bullshit, but that's all that shit is dead and radiated and fucking fucked off as it is. So let's not, you know, be delusioned by that. So let's encourage people out there. Hell yeah, fucking cannabis food. That's what it's about.
Is anybody else? I know I've been hearing a lot of it here in Michigan about like CBD and hemp farms being raided like crazy here in Michigan. Is that like a across the country thing? Are they like cracking down on fucking hemp and shit?
From my experience, my buddy actually runs CBD, and but he, you know, he's like a lot of other folks. He pushes it, and he grows, instead of growing all CBD, he grows a large portion of regular THC cannabis and whatnot. So I don't know. I would say that a lot of people push it.
I think, well, based on like what I can gather from like just watching, you know, like what was his name used to be, NYC Med Grower or whatever, or what the fuck, dude? The guy from this desert, Las Vegas, man, bald-headed dude, smart motherfucker.
NV Closet
Grower.
Yeah. That dude, man. Now that he's working with, you know, HLG or whatever private company down there pulling the CBN strains or CBDs, they're looking pretty fucking good. So I wouldn't doubt it if someone seen an operation like that indoors with that type of bud quality that you would be like, yeah, this guy's producing fucking weed. Coming up here, boys. This guy ain't growing hemp. So I wouldn't doubt that the operations getting busted for that shit.
Well, Steamsland doing really good CBD work too out there in Ohio or some shit.
Ohio Fire Factory.
Yeah, amazing work. Like, he's actually from my town here.
Oh fuck
he
used
to live here. At least he used to live here like nearly a decade ago.
That counts.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, dude, I wish I would have fucking been here a couple years earlier, 2-3 years earlier.
It looks like he's into the seed game now, going all out.
I like his style too, just like little inputs, very simple. Fucking, that's like I look up to that shit.
Hell yeah, he gives Mother Nature the credit where it's really due, right?
You know, you're feeding something back to the soil, whether it's all the different cover crop he uses and or whatever. And he found out like certain things not to use, obviously like broccoli.
They don't like broccoli, eh? They don't get along.
Well, it's not good for it like fucks up with the fungal with like, I don't know, dude. I don't want to sound like I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but yeah, something to do with.
You're starting to sound like you know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, I barely. I know enough to be dangerous. I know enough to sound like I know enough to sound like I know what I'm talking about, and then fucking.
No, you're right. In the catalog,
yeah, hit it, dude. I'm just being bullshit.
Me too. I'm just fucking around.
They have the companion plants, and they always have like, oh, stay away from potatoes, and there's definitely some vegetables that don't like each other. Definitely,
onions,
man, for sure.
Onions don't like to be, or green beans don't like to be grown after onions, supposedly, or even near each other. And then potatoes and cucumbers. Those are the two things that I know about, but most other things can be generally grown together.
Guys, this is the truth. It's likely that between runs here, unless I put something in the flower room like pronto, I'm going to be fucking smoking shake. But the good thing is, It's my shake. No, it just kind of like, the schedules fucking of life. Sometimes they get fucked up. I don't even know what it is. I was gonna like do a timeline or a flow chart of different elements, fire, rain, lead, all this shit, like that could have interfered with my life in the last 6 months. But I think it was purely like some evil spirit. So fuck that evil spirit. I don't want to have to smoke shake. I'm just joking. I don't care. It's just the way it goes, bro. That's why we don't throw it out.
Something tells us you might want to keep that there, bud.
I'm just laughing because the planning committee was such that I grew some CBN plants for some people who needed it, and I didn't think of actually filling in those numbers for myself. But I don't give a shit, man. They got what they needed, and if I have to have a couple of dry days, it's probably not going to be the worst thing that ever happened to me. I'm not complaining. I'm just laughing as I'm rationing.
Kid.
At least you're not smoking like the bottom of the bowls and shit yet, that might be day
No,
two,
right
though.
now I'm smoking some lovely prime stuff that I wish I just had like, a quarter pound of. Anyway.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
Is good. What's the most exciting cultivar that you guys have planted so far that in your future garden, Oh.
That's an invalid question. It's the 20, my friends. This bowl's for you.
Ball smoking.
Anarchy!
Sorry, Buddha. I just thought about that after here.
Only people who are free are those people who are willing to take liberties. Don't be shy. You patriot.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're good. This is an early one tonight because I want to roll with the shout outs. And don't forget though, Thursday night is the early night, 9 o'clock tonight.
I fucking missed that one.
I know. I love that. The original version was the version.
Some weed nerd out there could do a combination of the two, I'm sure. Be easy enough for some computer geek out there.
But see, this is the problem. Is they would have to make it like independently, like a little bit different, because it's not that I care, Major. In one bit, I gotta say this before I say the rest. It's just the two O's is enough to, I bet you, I'll get the Offspring one tonight. They'll be like, that one's ours. And be like, no, it wasn't. That was the Major owl in fucking background and shit.
Yeah. That was me. That was Blanket.
Oh, was it? I thought it was Major. My bad.
Yeah, the T for two. I've heard that shit quoted in a Sublime song and like in a country song. I think it was Tennessee Whiskey or something. But yeah, like that T. They refer to T for two, the song, both in like a Sublime song and
Nice. Yeah, they're fucking crazy like that. Because after I made the switch, this is the only reason why I know that is after I made the switch, I would talk about like missing the old version and was doing the ahs and stuff. And every time I did it, I'd be like, Offspring, copyright. I'd be like, what? It wasn't even them. I mean, it's like one of those. I don't argue the copyright bullshit because it gives you so many options of like clipping it out or just fucking taking the music out of the background if it's a thing, or fucking just giving them the fucking 2 cents of fucking, playing it. If it ever came down to a money thing, which I ain't think that's like squeezing blood off a turnip on this YouTube thing. So fucking, you know what I mean? So yeah, have at it. But yeah, so I don't care. You know, I honestly don't give two shits about all that. It doesn't seem to affect the channels 3 years into it. So, but I knew it wasn't them. So I don't dispute it though. I don't poke the bear. It's not like I'm gonna go, yeah, that wasn't them. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, dicks. It wasn't just it wasn't even you. Whatever.
Right. Being greedy,
maybe-
motherfucker.
we'll have to add some fucking heavy dance music right at the end just to twist up the fucking computer till it doesn't fucking ting it, man. Let's keep on pushing the limits.
Right.
Modify the tunes, man. Or try to get some Mendo dope in there, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, Eagle, I want to ask something that I just thought of. I thought of your friend Johnny, you know, the musician who came in and shared his music with us. He did that one time.
He was supposed to be on
John?
like 2 weeks ago, Johnny Green Thumb 710, and I fucking forgot.
Right.
I literally forgot to fucking that day we had an episode, and I forgot to touch base. I felt like such an asshole because I'd been looking forward to that. Anyways, what you were saying, my friend?
I was just saying he's a cool dude. I wouldn't mind seeing him again. Actually, I was gonna say, you know, people bring something to the table. We had Stony Rockefeller's band, you know, play that one night in the summer, or whenever it was back.
They're supposed to be back on Memorial Day. I have them scheduled for another Memorial Day jam. You know, catachronic. Yes,
that's
sir.
cool, man. I'm just like trying to get into the spirit of what makes this show unique, and that's the unique individuals who share their talents.
You know, I encourage the shit out of that. I know there's another weed nerd there at the local Walmart, and he plays music and shit. I'm like, yeah. There's another cat at the gas station plays a band, fucking got a nice band. I'm like, bring it, dude.
Yeah.
I keep telling my fucking my hopefully soon to be or someday to be son-in-law there. He plays in like a scream heavy metal band, Boreworm. And they're getting there, man. They're getting. And I keep telling him, man, fucking come on. He's the one he was one of the first ones. I was like, come on, do it. Give me a version. And every time he's like, I don't know. And I'm like literally like pressing the dad face, like that guitar's right there. We can do this right now. Let me grab my phone. Grab your guitar.
I just had a brainstorm here. We need to have a Nerds Gone Wild calendar for a fundraiser, just for fun.
Oh,
a
God.
fundraiser.
Mostly men in this community. I don't know, bro.
I'm talking like, you know, we're going outdoors, you know, with the weed. It has to involve weed. Anyway, I've got nothing to do with that. That would be funny though.
It would be funny, and just like fucking every spread be like a bud or some shit out of somebody's garden.
Oh
on
yeah,
somebody's chest.
Make it that way too. Like remember, like the good calendars always folded out. It wasn't just like two; it was all flown. So they should be like a fold out too. It's gonna be like strain and grower, you know.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see the SoCal one. I'm gonna be afraid.
SoCal would be the best, and I would want to see some flesh and some hair on that flesh.
Oh,
that's why I'm afraid. Too bad he's hairless.
I didn't say what flesh.
He's hairless.
Hey,
he's a racer.
Here's a shout out to SoCal.
Let's wait.
Hey, he's working. Okay.
Well,
SoCal's pursuing his competition goal of motorbiking at the senior class of veterans class of racing, and is like this. It's not easy on the body, not easy on the pocketbook. I hope his work's going well, but I guarantee you, when we don't hear from him, that means he's doing good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and
Great,
that's as
man.
a loving person. He has goals and he's, got a body on the mend and he's, in a stressful workplace. And all I can say is, power to SoCal. Yeah. Now that you mentioned
Yeah.
it.
Cheers to that, brother.
Special.
Hey, can I bug out of this
over me.
forum, this little meeting? Or you're getting ready to shut down, right?
Yes, sir, Buddha. Thank you for
Hey,
popping on, man.
right on. Yeah. Bless up. And I'll drop in when there's a full house and, wrap with the crew sometime in the near future. I just want to see these next 200 shows bring out the best in the community, and I'll probably be here or I won't. It don't matter. It better bring out the best in the community
Yeah.
for the
Hell yeah.
community's sake. All right. Peace out, and everybody have a lovely evening and good day, productive day tomorrow. Healthy decisions and healthy choices, and Ja Rastafari.
Same
Have
to
a
you,
blessed
Buddha.
day, brother. Peace.
Guess I'll say later next. Major, Buddha, Eagle. Cheers, everybody. Random acts of blindness. Hope everybody does something kind for somebody and fucking spread that love in this community, because it's fucking worth holding on to. And tell that fucking buddy or that family member that you fucking love them. Don't forget that shit. Good night, everybody.
You have a good day, brother.
You too.
Later. Major, you was late, my friend. What's up with that?
I stayed up late, bro.
You just waking up from a weed nap and shit? Oh, shit.
I guess 4 o'clock.
Oh.
I might qualify, I guess. Midnight and 4 might qualify. It's a nap. You can call that weed nap. Heavy weed nap. I'll be there tonight anyways, man. So
Right
remember, kill an auto.
have a good day, brother. Peace. For the best of you guys, thank you, Terp of the Morning, to you, Meow Flower. Thank you guys for tuning in, hanging out this evening. Sorry it was a late one, but I guess, again, better late than never. I don't know what the hell my computer's trying to do. Hopefully it isn't. There we go. So with that being said, hopefully you guys will tune in to the early episode tonight. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I believe that would be 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So go ahead and set your alarms, fill your trays, and be ready to hang out with an early rendition of the Weed Nerd. With that being said, let me get something fucking to drink real quick. Hold on, I got cotton chops. Fucker. How long? It's been fucking muted the whole time. Wow. Wow. I just happened to look up and see it blinking. Fuck. Fuck. I got it. I'm in that fucking zone too. That was a good one. Fuck me. Motherfucker. All I can say to that. Now I gotta find something else. I just don't know what to say to that. That was like 2 pages in too. That was like super fast. Super fast. I know you guys are like, yeah, right. Super fast. Get this next one now. Kid Rock. American Badass. Fuck. It was perfect too. It was perfect. Can't believe that shit. I got it all muted. This time it's going to shit, man. It's going to shit. Oh, fuck it. Here we go. Get this fucking keyboard away from me so I can't fuck that up again. Are you scared? Subcool D's House of Dank, Mama Law 710, Scary Girl 420, Christina MG 89, Unplug 705, Medical McGull Cuddy, Rick T, the Rebel, the Maggie 207, Fabian Selena, Safe Side Here, Time Spook, Greg Walker, Mendo, Dope, T Dog, Dunby, the Red Eye Jedi, Rose, Mother Nature, Dustin Conway, Duckweed, One Boy 7426, Justin Gooder, Same Man, Okie Roy 74, Corey for Travel, Michael Wallace, Motivation 420, Who's Your Cat, Attack Owl, Rick S. in the Bushes 827, James Simmons, Ryan Hahn, World's Last Hope, Pat's Fan 425, Winter, Dirt Road Dude, Kenesiba, Jose Ramirez, Red Eye Rustler, Dab Goblin, Dr. Buzz Lightyear, Acetone, 710 Canuck, Kenny Queen, Janetti, Sabby, Tanaze, Boomdor, Dirt Rand, Dan, Keith the Black Sellers, Muslim Sim, Isabel Sellers, Finn Premium Gardens, Rasta Bob, Rasta Death, Small Tube, Soil Roots, Tyler, Frosty Buds, Norm Michigan, Malika, Ouija Buds, Sub T Grows, Dub T, Dub T Roy, Big Dark Road, JC Modern Genetics, SoCal Weed Nerd, Child Flash, PPG 15, Green County Grower, CJ Apple, Perfectly Imperfected, Dollar Tree Grower, T1 Productions, Dan Grower, DOA Grow Millions, Miss Nudie Grows, I Grew Some, Johnny Candy Seed, Nutrient Shootout, Sonny, Nicky, Zoe and Slimer, NNY, Pixel Monkey, St. Bernard's, Observation Booth, Cold 420, High Spy, Aldrich 25, Nismap, T2, Moo, Bo Grower, Ken Crate, Loki Gross, Essence, Scott Burton 79, 79, Polish Hammer, Midwest Outlaws, Voodoo Altar, Espresso Nerds, Cali Grown, Wolverine Grown, Jimmy 111, T Black, MMP, Nations Creation, MMP, Laid Way Back Farmer, Emerlon, it's Psychedelic, Warlock, Sir Sticky, Rob, Big Day, 420, Parent Window, G3, The Green Club, J and K, Triple G, Mrs. Sprinkler, Brittany, Tyler, TC, Hope Farms, Lisa G, John, BG Creation for you, BGW, G420, Dr. Buzzwell, Purple Summer, Anthro, Sensor, Amelia, Anthro, Just Space 420, Beach Coast Grower 420, Beach Sir Howell, Trade Alone, Keep It Real, Hagerton 420, Sub Zeppelin, Audit everywhere, BTW Girls, Bingo, Screen Puffin, Man, Alex Boy, Jeff Seth, White Pool of Crop, Cause I Love It, Green Mountain Grower, Southwest OK, Real 100, 212, Andy Man, Randy Family Farms, Page Farms, Meow Flower, Ryan Henderson, Green 13, New Sailboat Wins, Kingdom Mac, Pounder, Streamer 77, Double D, Bad Bunny, Nutrients, Mr. Green Box, Mr. Green Nugs from 619 664, Trainer, Cruiser, Jones and Grow, Papa G Grows, Raz, Amy, the Grow From Your Heart Podcast, Lynn Luna, Dream Med Flock, Jeremiah, Randy, Sony Creek, Lost Art, Mr. No One, Giant Mike, Prometheus, Oil, Jason Isom, Pete Wynn, David Colvin, Mason, 662, Scrugger, Mason, Scroggins in the Port, Got It, Scrolls, Kelly Burrows, Chad, Brad, Family Farm, Small PPR, Kevin Joker, Mike Ajo, Jay Huggins, UGA, Green Tree Hunter, Kush Cloud, Joshua Steensland, Organic Home Bugs, Warren Dip, Nelson, Cam Wood, Main Mystic, Show Love Always, Kelly Stone, Texas OG, Sargent, Claire Presto, Happy Guy, 311, Mix Up, Kinder Grows, Evergreen Hayes, Chief Friend Tree, MMJ, Save Ball, Dragonfly Beat, Justice Med, Travis Walsh, Lucky Mike, Lucky Mike, Seattle, Crank Seeds, King Chronic, Titan for Busco, Seed Shango, Ras, Wabassa for Life, John Smith, Thomas Turkle, Poker King, Ras, Pop Little, Oscar Green Jr., Matt Silver, Nindo 11, Stephanie B, Shark 989, Bob Rouse, Top and Garden, Social Nation, 420, Joe White, Bugs 1313, Grower, Painted Lady, Frank Food, Matt S. Say, Full Rolls, Wake Pack, Jay Meyer, Jamid, the Chat, Mr. Manny D, Bang C, Dr. GG, Susie Josh, Sutter 911, Dutch Gross 421, Skillbro 1, Metagirl 1, Empire Grow, Eating Co., Bergoli, Lost Leaf, Liam Mass, Danny Danko, B Bear 7, Holly Noble, CK Town, Trinidad, Looney Justin, Smoking with Small Town, Tim S, Mr. Lazy, Rob, Raptor Goes, Automation is Freedom, Robert Hayes, the 10 Door, Michigan Court, Double Tap, Farmers, Switch, Green, Dump 420, 808, Rudy, Prospects, Canada Bus Driver, Hayden Light, Kenny 710, Operation Grow, T Ben, TM 42696, Rude Nuts, Dr. Scramble, VB, Rula, CHWF, Double J, that is, Bio Green, Self Grower, Highland Key, Safety 420, OG, KP, Ganja Nander, Georgia Joe, Roy Rodriguez, B Growing Nature Dress Notes, Kill B Grows, Ganja Wizard, Husky, Cards, Nut Tree 420, Dr. U, Soul for Life 420, Bully for Life 420, the Jet 420, 69, B 698, Dr. Franklin Booty, Goddamn, my big Ted's Tessa, Rippin' Fat Boy, Jack Greenstock 420, 420, Boone's Farm, Charlie Farms 420, Aldridge 25, Smiley's Gardens, JD's, Misty Snugs, Smoking Grove, Fraser, Grokoski, Twisted Roots, Faded Farm 420, Jeff Dorowski, Genetic Memory Farms, and Well 420, Cameron, Mr. Bagsy, Jill Carter, Mystic Marks, Mystic Grower, Ginger Snaps, DTE, Groze, Rick Wolf, Ned Denver, Mike Denver, Sergeant Pep 420, Ken Trooper, Blind Cat 420, Light Up Again, Tim, UKSIF 420, Buddha Boy, Devin Shrubback, Medical MJ, Budsville, USA, Resurrection Prophet, Chris Martinez, Terry Wilson, Tank Man Dan, Tank Man 420, Red Set of Farms, Good Life. Happy birthday, Red Set of Farms, by the way. Good Life, Joni Bell, Cheetah People, Sadie Grower, the Major General 420, Army, the American 1, WJ 714, Short Days, Kenny Olsen, Mountain Skies, ready, hit that hop out, Chris Mertz, Save, Robbie, Sergeant Live, Happy Fake Cam, Bridge Patch, Joe's Moon, Southern PT Grower, Choose Medical, Jair Bear, Plus One, Mushroom, Secret City, Pioneers, my little 2042 Spacewalker, Christian, True Mump, T. Barrington, Heart and Soul, Homegrown, Mike B, T. Dwayne, East Coast Will, Huddy Day, Electric Orange, John Smith, Elliptus, My Natural Farms, Pacific Northwest Seeds, Roscoe, Paul, Lemon Helco, Trench, Rita's Juice Life, 420 Grand Menu, Bear, Bond, Semi Sizzle, 9 Inch Colas, Chris Moo, DK Trades, Vision Creator, Cat Brew, Cannon Nation, JJ Wires, Timothy Mead, Kimmins, Neo, Justin Beans, Chronic 88, Fat Valley Real, Jennifer Steele, Kid Basira 3, Turf Farm, Shannon Stevens, Carlitos, Latinos, Kid Country, Mitch Speed, Wolf Speed, Firesaw, Wally Wookie, Goddess Grows, Boston Bob, White Feather Grows, Burnish Room, Stone Grows, Snake, K-Man Grows, BX Gunna 81, Smith Dude, New Grows, Sean McCann, J Monk, Snake, and Jello, Walla Walla Can Golf, Fall Dog, UF, Kansas Constable, this is Paris Rock Band, Justice Mick, 420 Bid, Fresh growth, driving herbs, high boy, your mailman grows, and we be growing, Australian growing, love with the plant, Argo American, Swamp Poker, Unfrozen, Cape Ann, White Hat, Surf Crack, Michael Groom, Jeff Lowenfels, Mobius Road, Jane Brownie, Danny G, Kelly Harkins, Mystic Flavor, The Foraging Gardener, Overwater, Overkill, Seattle Seed, Shadow Warrior, Valley Green, 514, Amelia Jensen, All Syndicate, Dr. MJ Coco, Brandon Ross, Matthew Gates, Steve Bag, Drone Star, Chaco, Willie, Dave Yoda, Jay Simmons, Churro Grows, Clackaman, Screw, DJ Conlon, Aaron, The Grower, Light, 1978, 9, Michigan Grown Buds, Your Boy, Roy Boy, Delta 9, Jay McDaniels, Clackaman, 420, CP Coles, Dylan Stein, Forge, PFC Farms, Hudson Garden, Sun Grown, 707, J8 Road, J420, Cascading Grow, Tito's, McGee, Four Plants, A, We Works, Captain Straw, Chunky Buns, House Warrior, Jackie Lee, Young, Terry Lee, Live, with Gaston, Tumpy, Annie Ann, George, Green, Junior Leon, from All Purpose Plus, Green Goose, 11 Smiles, 11, Biddu Bugs, Michael Ross, Wendy, Dan the Indoor Man, Gromies, Homies, Hamilton, Grown, Flip Smoke, Keystone, Can of Flag, PA Green, P High, Keystone, Can of Flag, PA, B High, 710, Eugene, Green Lake, Phase 3, Hustle, Fred, Darn Carlos, North Arizona, Beer Grove, 420, No Tell, Jesse White, Gassane, Yeti, Introvert, Genetic, So J, Fixin, Robin, Mr. Killer 8, Mo, James Buttercream, C Dub from NorCal, The Pharmacy Seed Network, Deadhead, Smokey 616, Curtis Mayhem, Matt Moore, Morte, Rick K-Man, Stephanie Dora, Tennessee, Fed, Cares, K, Mike Rubos, Jupiter 420, Maxi 751, Lawrence Gonzalez, slow to get up, Papa, Steve Moon, Pop Code 719, Bakery Shake, Baby Old Smoke, PWC, Grown Buds, List Laura Wash, Mr. Rude Bud, Old School Roller, Chad Westport, Hodgson Gold, Florida Nuts, Wild Little Pizza, Heaven, Future South Streets, Glad Coral, Richard D, Crispy Wannabe, Mr. Soul Food, Spectrum, Gone God, Lori Hanson, Real 2,000 Years of Tradition, Mr. D. Conley, Pim Jam McBoney Face, Show Me Sasquatch, Fuck Google Andrew, I'm Going Whale, Canadian Restore, Paul Dirt, Paul Call, Rights Up, Homo Farms, Henry Farm, Seldom Seen, Old Park Gardens, Hell 9782, Skunk Pass, Martial Arts 2012, Mike Slave Hafner, Danny McDizzle, Benny Clee, Fitz, KGB, Robert Mr. Green Fingers, Motherfucking Thomas, Sir Andrew Coast, Plenty, Monkey Balls, Andrew Chippy, Bobby Lynn, Mean, Trent Tigger, Mr. Mac, Tony You Like Bill, Only Bill S, Wheat Peace, Tater, Delicious, Minty, Country Roots, here on Virgin X, Earth Creeper, Big Ray 420, Teeny 101, Buds and Hazards, Mr. Club 14, Bearded Man Fire 616, and all up north, Max Groom and Ruby, Mike Steve, 562, Ganja, James Chrysler, Green Ghost, and Egg, Zenzolo, B. Benson, Astro, Charlie, Sativa Smart, 84, GTCA, Bush Doctor, Dirty Hole Gardens, TK, James C. Weaver, Girl Owens, Corey Gagnon, Green Hill Farms, Hillbilly Herb, Jason Worm, Terps, Skunky Brewster, YBF, Larry OG, Abosh Farm, Spartan Grown, Johnny Green Thumb, 710, Michigan Wildflower, Seldom Seen, Gambler, Todd O'Connor, TP 710, Caribou TV, Virginia Herbs, Red Primo, Equilibrium, Genex, Telfree Truck, Skyway, Kevin O'Donnell, School Crop, Super Trucker, eBay, Bud Tender, The Glass Girl, 420, Ted Nugs, Mike Trevine, Greg 77, Ted Nugs, Skunk Gate Glassworks, Beast Mode 347, Mike Atomic Spear, JMA 182, Justin Gucci, Webcam, Dan Sony, Baby Fat J, Cuda Pit 1000, Dan Sony, Sunshine Farm, Daydream, Brad, Sour Mountain, Larice, Scotty Nowhere, Justice Smith, Not Sure, Red Bayer Farms, shit up louder, 2006 Butt Plug Bungalow, Groski 808, Weekend Inverters, K-Bag, Justin Station, Song Style, Organic, Sippy, Medic, Honesty, K-Hall, Meal Flower, Bet Boot, Todd Kendricks, Newton, KT, Chris D, True Service, Full Time, Full Daddy Dread, Papa Matthews, Ancient Soul Grown, Kevin Jiu-Jitsu, Canada Health and Happiness, Preserved Canada, Collab, Low Cut, Adam Trend, Mo Man, Med, Raz, Benchy, Helen, Hooch, Janie, James T, Atomic Spoon, Miss Jill, Big Daddy, LT Gardens, High Flyer, 420, and Buck. Lots of Brush Bro, Mother Tree, Maine, Red Pill, Yo Boy, Roy Boy, Shannon, Gibbons, Ruhan, Rick W, Comfortably Numb, One Smoke Away, The 8-Point Show, Richard Lamb, Red Pit, 710, Campus, Pursuit, K-Rolling, Worthy Buzz, Logan Man, 81, Oil Flower Podcast, John's Ross, Fact, Warren Dixon, Pink Lady Luck, El Mondo 420, surrounded by Keith Fiery Farm, Fritz Weller, Single Fathers, Happiness Without Guilt, Wob Wobby, Sean Bibbs, Rescue Ready, Roadside, LLC, Notorious Nugs, Magma Seed, Father and Son, Trimmy, Tutorial, Sub T Day, Jose, Martin Perez, Dog with the Hot 420, Buck, Cheaper Man, GR420 community videos, Detroit River, Louis Garcia, Muck, PB, AJ, Everyday, Captain Bought, Chet Bob 13, Main 420, Medgore, Cookie Coos, Jay Kendricks, In for the Grill, Backwoods, All Good, Sally Mount South, Adam Snake, and Chanel Simpson, One Smoke Away, Couch Roads, Consume Mitch, Burnt, Lincoln, Stinkin, Angel Studio, MG 420, Grow Temp, Paul DLF, John Fleming, Dank Fitz, Five Follower, Paulie P, Seldom, Seen, Elevated, Lenny Organic, Sunman, Chiba Sunny, Jeff Pollock, Ricardo Sosa, Dan J, Earth Friendly Farmer, Candy Forest Farmer, fuck all that beat, Mr. Grower, Jason Line 512, Snake Eyes, Snowy 4466, Jason Greystone, Tony Baker, MD, Sony Creek, Rush Sonic, Prince, Tarzan, Superman, Old Man, Herman, Freebird, Mobird, Matty Guy, Simple Man, Survivor One Time, Tim Blake, Off Coast Chronic, Steve Flat will collect, Bolero, Harley Grove, John God, Steve Collins, Todd Kendrick's Property Maintenance, RP Gallons, Hayes, Scoop Steve Speaks, J.R. Randy Cave, TCDR, Claire Killian, Walter Farming, Randy Grande, Fifth 1008, Spoon 32, Wake Up Cave, Freedom B, Proper Smiles, 50 Digit, Fishing Guns, Mooch Hash, Fred G, Super Bob, Richard Paul, Baby, Puenta, B4, P Funk, Nick T, John Ritz, What About Bob, Prince Patty, Daniel Burbank, Green Puffin Man, B. W. Lee, Jake Suggs, Art Rose, 818, Tom Wayne, Carolina Roots, it's a Golden Air, Dana L, Dana Karina, Clean Up, Nerds, Blake 1030, Choose One, Only Feet, Farmer James, Crypto Dope James, Richard Lamb, TJP Grove, Master Green, Dan Marino, Maine, Chronic Wonder, Sunrise Grove, Florida, X, Mo Bishop, 420, K2, Canvas, Sissy Fisher, My Dog, Nelly, Alex Hardy, Gear, Rooster Farms, About Mischief, Reddy Copper, Daniel Gross, Photos, Hidden Grove Med, Sunrise Grove, of course, Lexi, Brittany, Koo, I love you. No Limit 916, Grumpy Toad, Alchemist, Cannon Mix, Soy Born, Dixon, Ronso, LSD, Dirty Horse, Catfish, High Power, Thunder Dan, Propagation Station, John McDaniels, Lisa Marie, Sarge Rose, A1A, Blaze, Alien, Fried Piper, Perpetual, Evil, Proud Warrior, Sis Mine for you, Breaking Side of the Name, Duchess, Keto, Kelly, Maxwell, Kevin 420, Breaking Side of CFAT, what about Bob Hill, Juster, Pops Room, John Dorsey, Jen Doe, Dungeon Gasher, THC, 4 PTS, DT Bears, and Hunter Grown, Swap Catch, Lero, Cannabika, Best of Because, Jen Doe, Mr. Manny D. Cannon, for RA 420, AB, Normal, Frank Guerrero, Bear Free, Jay Brent, 74, CK, Brown Guy, 420, Packer, 420, Burner Tree, Maine, EA, Great Sun, Grow, 207, Hydro Daily, Hempwood, Jesus, Jamie Rain, Supreme Grape, Sony Rockefeller, Caveman, Cannabis, Fruit City Sin, Why Sustainable, Midnight Roots, Dead Cynic, Knuckles, P, Polly B, Quick, D, Nimble, Buddy, Kilowatts, Michael D, 489, Disbanded Brothers, Marcelo, Matt, Joseph Grace, Medicine, RX, Keeping Chief, Hydro Daily, Concerned American Guys, Cannabis 411, Freedom of Speech, Dr. Deutsch Words, D Streets, Conscious, Google 710 is upside down, Jesse Stevenson, Fedori, Paduch, What About Bob, Sacred Gardens, Cusco, Slick Rick, A Dog, Pals, David St. Louis, Emil Watts, Castaigne Yeti, Ed Grin, and then Grown, Uncle Elmer, Upgrade Terps, Christopher Big Force 54, Last Petter, Matthew Schultz, Sioux, Illinois Man Beaters, third time, Jake Fruit for Genetics, Derek Horse Genetics, Owner Dude, Joel and Jeff from Northstar Genetics, Karen Ann, Mr. U, Cry PG, Brew B, 13 Leah, Brew Beyond Perfection, XX Elite GP, XX Uncle Stoner, G Chris Retreat Christian, Gorge Paradise, LED Grown, I see the Decode Bacon, Mrs. Scott, the Fresh Bake One, J Allen, Big Bob Groves, Sally Canada, Australia Gold, Chuck 420 Garden, Daniel Phil, Mr. Nowhere Man, Selling Sally, Silly fucking seashells, Lucky, Claudia Gosling, Mount G Word, Greenville, Secret Gardens, Benny Ben, Up, Naval, Mission Martu, Christian 5, Sentimental Street Goddess, Alberta Cannabis Growth, Earth Creeper, Dawn Hazel, Hurt, Matt Ness, John Gall, Two Word, Robert Rittenhouse, Demetro and Disney, Joey Berger, Mr. Bill, Mikey from Maui Gold, Genetics, Mr. Missy, Gangsta, Dragonfly, Earth Medicine, Thunder Dance, San Louis, Sungrown, Super Bob, Dutch Grove, 420, Tough Impact, Mr. Tree, Green Gypsy, 1, Dot, 247, Dirty Rotten Input, so Steady Gains, Ginger Bug, Sovereignty, Paco, Smartphone, B. Ridley, Bell F, Tough Impact, Crazy People Doing Stuff, Weight 5, Multiple Division, Patio, Bears growing at home invasions, getting no fucking petty blue kiss gardens, Crack Baby CWC, Shorty for Life, Token Pirate, Supernatural, Brittany Cool, Sacred Guards, Oxyquental, One Life, No BS, Penny Pepper Rippers, Frank, Friday 420, Chef J. Reese, Dog Days Gardens, Corrine, Big Force 54, 420 Green Goddess, Yourself, Hurley Baker, Price, Strike Home Jungle, Diggity Day, Gal, the Beastly, Lower Camp, Swim 22, The Grow Boss, Tim Clemmer, MB Closet Grower, Finding by Light, Wheat Flair, Any Grow, No, Miss Fish, Stock House, Miss Stone, Uncle Rick, Mr. 12 and 12, Cassie Firefighter, Mr. Mark Leafley Hill, Pet Cat, PK, Urban Reamer, Red Dragon Brothers, Journey Overgrowth, Jab Hunter, JG, GML, Leafly Wiggly, Cam the Candyman, High Tide, 420, PG, the Homo Local 2.0, Nicotine, K Good Farms, Zachary G. Savior, Will PF, PU, Eddie Alvarez, Choke Wesley, Pacemaker, S.103, Turbzilla, MK Alta, Chilbert, UK, Brandon Harris, 710, Connoisseur, Pheno Fisherman, Hemp Night, Cottonmouth Grow, Icy Cold, Shirley Ross, DK, Driving Miss Hazy, Herb, Conscious, Woody J, Roy, Dugan, Marijuana King, Gonzo, Ninja, Who, What You Got, Justin Goodini, Big Blazer, Ryan Koklowski, Marcus Green Thumb, 420 Bin, A Nova, Weed Bonds, Monster Grow, The Quiet One, Who Be Growing Doobie, The Flyer Apartment, 420 Colts Mountain, Banana Farmer, Danny's Food, Bang, Coffee Palace, Seymour Cuts, Bio Synthetic, Cousin Nikolai, Doc Papers, Alex 622, Texas Weed Hopper, Hank Herb, Dankvis Kind, Joe Pietri, The Space Code 82, Pac-Man, Biggie Longtown, South Page X, Push Master, Let's Be Buds, Fuds Are Funny, Noah 427, 10, Dabba, Mr. Magoose, Dan, Jack Beanstalk, Detroit Crude, Angel Sativa, Christoph, Bulldog, Grotech, Michigan, CX6, Ultimate Acres, Claude, Rim Purple, J5, 420, CAO, Crap Arms, Dr. Green Gas, Candyman, Church Vineyards, Pony Boy, Uncle Mike, Bean G, Hope Farms, High Italian Rouse, and Judge Strains, Anthony, or Joseph Anthony, THC Garage, Duff Nugs, Chad C, Replacement, Joe's Up North, Obscure Oddities, Tats, 2 Trav, DLP, 2372, Necrosis by Psychosis, Ted Nugs, Steel Beams, Joe, or Bo Wallace. Cheers to you, my friend. What's the new one? I'll scope your anus. Cheers to you. Last but not least, Weedus 207. With that, all that being said, almost twice. This is the end of your day, your journey. Please get some rest. If this is the beginning of your day, your journey, please take time out for a little bit of self-love, a little bit of meditation, and medication. Be kind. Go out there and have an amazing, what is it? It's fucking Thursday. Have an amazing Thursday. I will see you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. With that being said, I am